Hello, friends, and welcome to Exciting Title, the internet television show whose exciting title is Exciting Title. Tonight, Rachel and I are once again at the hotel. We've had a busy day. We've got a fair number of things accomplished. But we've also encountered a bit of a frustration here towards the end of the day with this issue of unstaging the house. So, that was a bit of a bummer that we were told that they were going to be done unstaging the house today, and instead, as far as we can tell, they did not begin unstaging the house today. Which made a lot of my updating in my TE-centric little notebook of things to do. It means I have to go re-update it again.
Yeah.
And that's the part of this process that's frustrating. Is that what you know is all tentative until it's almost too late to know it. And then it becomes finalized in some way. So, in order to help soothe our frustrations caused by the ever-shifting dates of when things will be done, we got these guns. Now, none of this affects the sale of the house at all, or anything. Everything like that's proceeding as planned, but it affects when we can check out of the hotel and go back to the house for 4 days or so. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. And then board our cats here locally while we check into a hotel again for about 3 or 4 days. Then move us and the cats all to Mariposa as soon as the keys are ours, you know. Anyhow, today's a less exciting night than last night because, of course, no mushrooms. But even in the absence of the excitement of mushrooms, I anticipate that a passable time will be had by all.
Yeah, I think so too.
These are for sleep, they say.
They say.
To sleep right there. That's why they're dark like the night. I was explaining something outside about my aunt, who I think is an INFJ. We also think that the bartender we got tonight is probably an INFJ, or possibly an INFJ. Very pleasant.
Yeah.
And described his experience of becoming more extroverted at work, very much in the way INFJ would, I think.
Yeah, it sounded kind of how I didn't really learn how to extrovert in the hospitality way until working as a hostess in a restaurant, a hotel.
It's an extrovert in a hospitality way.
Mhm.
Hi, good to see you.
Mhm.
Ah.
Oh.
That's how I am constantly. We're eating gummies, marijuana gummies. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Relaxation is the order of the day. May pull this down a dB so we don't peak so often. Yeah. Pull this up so we can see better.
Oh, there you go.
So anyway, it's been a hard day's night. Rachel and I went to the mall. She returned some packages at Free People. And then she and I went to the post office and Free People again, I think maybe, had sent her somebody else's package. So they gave her a QR code to print out a postage label that lets her mail it to them for free. But we're not allowed to use post office tape, so we had to buy some tape.
Yeah.
So it cost $4. Just back from settling a poodle sitting debt. We took our neighbors out to a fancy restaurant and dropped a small bomb. What kind of bomb? Was it a nuclear bomb? Or just a regular bomb? Mac Daddy?
Hey. Hey, my daddy.
Ooh. I see, you mean you spent a lot of money. I don't know the rupee to USD exchange. So. Now you're feeling buyer's remorse. Food wasn't that good.
Oh, buyer's remorse.
Mac Daddy has arrived and she wants to know what is up. Well, I'll tell you this much. The sky.
Oh, that old joke.
Yep. It's a classic. It is a classic. The other possibility, of course, is chicken butt.
Yes. Oh my gosh. People would get, I used to use that, and people would get so offended. Some people would get so offended when I call them chicken butt.
Some just go, "What's up, chicken butt?"
Chicken butt, yeah.
Is what you're saying in return.
Oh.
It's not just you could say "What's up, chicken butt," but it's better as a response to "What's up"
Yeah, it
than as
is.
the second half of a question.
Yeah. It is.
Not too shabby. You know, you really hear somebody say it's shabby, you much more frequently say it's not too shabby. You know, I guess there's an acceptable amount of shabbiness, but that if you get too shabby, then it becomes bad. You cease to be shabby chic, and you become shabby shabby.
Mm.
And after shabby shabby is ramshackle. Not too ramshackle. Have you thought about or talked to Spacey in a while? No. You know, I tried to sustain that relationship. I thought once he broken up with, what's her name, that we'd be cool again, but it didn't turn out that way. I don't know. I think it's difficult for him to deal with the FE challenges of that situation. Back from taking everyone out for a fancy meal, but maybe sitting at home with THC gummies would have been less social and more fun. Gotta make sure you get the right kind of gummies, Dallas. We enjoy these wild ones, but I would still say I think I like the plus ones better.
I'm not sure if they haven't restocked them.
No, they haven't. But I'm not actually sure I like the plus ones better because I'd have to like kind of go back and forth, try wild, then I try plus, and try wild, to really be able to say which one I like better, you know.
Yeah.
What they have in common is they don't make me headachy, which most edibles, well, it seems like all edibles by that other company, Kiva, which has a lot of sub-brand names.
Yeah, it does.
And Rachel keeps telling me, no, that's them too.
Yeah, and I don't like them. That's why I don't prefer them because they don't give the same results as some other brands. So I look out for that name.
Dallas is pretty sensitive to pot. So I have to be cautious with edibles. One bowl. Good night, sweet prince. And my Delilah eats such tiny amount of edibles, like 5 milligrams or whatever. And she was telling us one time, like, she ate 10 milligrams, and she was just like, oh, that's too much. Rachel and I start at 100 milligrams. I like wild. I like them. They're fine. They don't make me headachy, and they don't make me like Kiva shit does. It seems like all of their stuff does that to me. So, there's this whole thing called talking that stops happening when I get high. It's like, bird god. My friend Dave Porter used to say that he didn't like smoking weed very much because it made him quiet and nerdy. Alcohol makes you sweat, so what does weed do? It makes you absorb water. How's that for an answer? It turns you into a sponge. Whereas alcohol makes you like a sponge that's squeezing out its water. weed makes you like a sponge that's sucking in its water.
Yeah.
Anywho, it's funny how I had so many assorted things in my head that I was thinking and talking about, and then it's like once the stagers didn't end up showing up today, it just knocked me right off my horse.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all I was thinking about for a stretch of time after that was, okay, so, because I had just been putting together, like, yesterday and today, this whole list of things and schedule things, and then I updated today with the new information, and then it turns out that new information was wrong, and then, it just sapped all the get it done energy out of me. What Robert Pirsig calls a gumption trap. Do you have a favorite cuisine or dish? Rachel, let's you answer that question as well, and I'll answer it as well.
I really like good Italian raviolis with good sauce.
I am going to say the same about lasagna, and we're both talking about the same place. We both like Casabiancas. The thing that we get, we each get the same thing every time. And we both like the thing we get at Casabianca a lot, even though we each get a different thing.
Yeah.
I mean, weed's weird. It's like it doesn't really get me very high. Um, yes, it's possible to eat too much of it and get like a little over faded. Like the other night when I had 200 milligrams, I was a little over faded, but it was fine. I still went to sleep fine. You know.
That's good.
Do you like video games? Well, the video game that I used to play fairly a lot was console video game football. I started by playing NCAA, the college football version, that um, we got killed by the same, part of the same, part of the same set of legal rulings that ended up in what we now call NLI, name likeness image. Name likeness image is what killed NCAA football on, PS3 and those other consoles. So then I started playing Madden Ultimate. And that was pretty fun, I guess. And then one day, my ex-wife went into the garage and plugged in a frayed cord, a really frayed cord in the wall, and it like blew out the electricity in there, and it killed my PlayStation. And I haven't played video games since, really. No, I don't want to play Pac-Man. I have a theory about weed. Basically, if you've done any psychedelics in the past, the good smoke will more often than not may trip you up. More intense for space cadets, officers, and vets. Well, I mean, I guess I haven't done too many psychedelics in the past. I certainly have done a lot of them. I know she's looking fantastic, isn't she?
Thanks, Camera 9.
Especially without this thing marring. Maybe it's supposed to be there.
No. It wasn't on purpose.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
The first strain I ever grew was the Shiva Heavy strain. It's too psychedelic and it makes my visual snow go nuts. Your visual snow. Yeah, I know what you mean by that, but that's something I've not noticed in years. I haven't thought about or noticed in years and years. It's like, yeah, I guess I have that like permanently or something, but only when my eyes are closed. I don't even notice it. That's funny you say that because I know what you're talking about. And that term can't be a commonly used term, is it? Visual snow? I've never heard it before. There's some that trip you can get intense and some that just relax you. Could also be people react differently. I think, what's HPPD? Huge penis population disorder? It's a disorder where a whole population of people suddenly grow huge penises. Hallucinogen persistent perception disorder? Oh.
I've never heard of that.
I mean, it's not a disorder. Well, I mean, that definitely is accurate for me, but you have to care about the visual spectrum a lot for it to make any difference, you know? Like, I don't see impacts in my visual perceptual field as particularly relevant to anything. Well, I can read things fine and see things fine. Who cares if I still see like acid shapes and stuff? I was never paying attention to that really in the first place. That's not the purpose of drugs, to look at things. I'm looking at things. Okay, well, if you get promoted, you can graduate to Kim Jong-un pointing at things. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, little Fred, that you had such a bad experience with it. I've got my own war wounds. I've got neuropathy. I can't feel my toes, basically. But, and I've got some kind of HPV stuff going on, I'm sure. But more or less, I've survived my own ravenous consumption appetite with fairly little wear and tear, surprisingly. I mean, you can sort of see it in my face. I'm very wrinkly. Is this why boofing DMT is so effective at producing pseudo-spiritualism? Yes. One bad trip, mostly good ones, but I fear it's altered my shit in some way. Yeah, well, it maybe did. I mean, it certainly traumatized you.
That's kind of like why I don't want to take acid because I'm afraid of that.
It's a good reason not to take it. I mean, the thing about acid is if you don't take too much, you'll be fine. But it's just too hard to predict how much you're going to end up taking, because of the way that it's in micrograms instead of milligrams. Yeah, a bad trip can be traumatic. But I don't think really people have bad trips on DMT, you know? Well, maybe they do. I don't know. I never really heard of anybody having a bad trip on DMT. It's hard to incorporate intoxicants well into one's life. I think Rachel and I do a pretty good job of it. But part of that is because we're not drinking. And drinking tends to make things sloppy and very difficult to manage, at least for me.
Yeah, me too.
So, sometimes I feel a little bit of that judgment impairment quality of alcohol from mushrooms, but it's always in the very specific same way, which is I become mean and not really caring about FE very much a lot of times. If I'm not just having fun. Like, I didn't feel very good after that live stream with that person last night. And it wasn't because that person hurt my feelings, but because I didn't like the way I was being after I had a little distance from it. I didn't like the way I was being so full of braggadocio and also so like brutal in my language towards this person, even if he did deserve it. Mushrooms making me not care very much about that shit is a quality that it has in common with alcohol. And it's not nearly as bad as alcohol, but it's still something that um, it gives me pause. Like it gave me pause this morning after the kind of wild ride night of high intensity trolling plus Ericon mushrooms plus Adderall plus naturally raised emotional levels given the context, etc. I'm sure it feels supervised during my breaks. Supervised by my supervisor. just like, oh, I don't know, just like a child in a classroom with a stern school marm. I got it. MDMA isn't really psychedelic, so you really reined it in. And if you aren't really judging, it's more like they're thinking, what does this mean to me? That's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It's funny, I don't think they're judging me. The way I feel is they're not giving me any useful information by not judging me. Yeah, it's like I expect to get cues from you about how you're judging me. I want to be judged well. INFPs don't give me any cues that I can read.
I don't know how it is. I don't know many ENTJs. I had a boss, like I said, I had a boss who was an ENTJ, and he was like, "Who are you? And where did you come from?"
He said, "We're keeping a mirror."
Yeah, we're keeping it on mirror.
Papa, don't preach.
I'm pretty sure he was an ENTJ. I mean,
No more driving around in a car high on acid. I can drive on mushrooms fine. No, I'm sure I can drive on acid too, probably. I can drive on anything. Except water.
so how is your ENTJ boss? Because I will try to figure out if my boss is an ENTJ. My previous boss was an ENTJ. He was very proud of his awards and things that he did for the community, the Hispanic community in particular.
Did he run a marathon? ENTJs like to do that.
He worked out in certain ways. I don't know. I'm not sure.
ENTJs like to do things like run marathons and climb Mount Everest. Just
I've never talked to him that much.
okay. I'll be right back and watch for a cigarette.
Okay.
Right. And I'm missing
How is his mom?
one important thing. It appears. What is the oh here? This is the important thing I'm missing. Where my her snowshoe is.
Thanks, Mrs. Mom.
Okay. Now I'm going for realsies.
Ooh. Good?
Welcome.
I do too. No bed bugs, thank God. No. Not itchy, luckily. Where do bed bugs come from exactly? Eliana Diaz sounds not like Eliana Diaz. Been eating a lot of eggs lately. So that would definitely make someone fart. They probably aren't still good though, Eliana Diaz. Eggs don't really have that long of a shelf life. Okay, if you guys can like keep an eye. Yeah, I don't think it's Eliana. Bella says tonight is a zippered shirt only. There's a cardigan around here somewhere. Do you like your cardigans? Eric says that INFPs like bulky, thick cardigans. Alright, cool. We'll watch out for it. Thank you, Eliana Diaz. I had a feeling. No, it's not. Can someone block Winston's mom? Can you, that second Eliana Diaz block? The one that says, "It is me." I'm glad you love them. Oh my gosh, that lives up to what Eric has to say. Thank you, I appreciate that. I don't know where the mouse or pad is. What do you guys think of Phil Collins? How many people have an opinion on Phil Collins? Not Genesis. Maybe Genesis. Okay, cool. Thanks, Mrs. Bond, for letting me know. Tell him that we say happy birthday as well from over here. Yeah, Phil Collins' music, not him as a person. I know nothing about him as a person. His music. Do we have any fans? Do we have any people who have like opinions? I think that he's like fairly weak, a fairly weak musician. Like Studio, that's a ridiculous song. It's not even, it's like not a song. It's a made up word. I mean, it might not be a made up word, it might be a person's name, but I think I like Peter Gabriel without Genesis. Okay. this one song in my head that they keep on playing in the hotel by Phil Collins, and it's good, except there's one part that's a bridge that's just like it's just horrible. It's the do 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 do. Do 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 That's all. I would leave, but I can't go. It'd be easier, I know. Can feel my head down to my toes. Why does it always seem to be looking at you, you looking at me? It's always the same, it's just the same, that's all. Okay, so I like that Phil Collins song. But it has a bridge in it that's like, and I want you more than I wanted to. Like, we call it the cats of Phil Collins. What? That sounds so, what a weird combination. Tupac featuring Phil Collins in the air tonight? That sounds so strange.
Tupac featuring Phil Collins.
Right?
Yeah, da 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 da.
Yes, da 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 da.
Ba da 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 da. We figured out that's actually the bridge tonight.
I was telling them about, because I want to see, we don't have many Phil Collins fans here, but I was explaining how in general we're not.
We're not Phil Collins.
Yeah.
And what was the other song, the Peter Gabriel song?
In Your Eyes.
Oh yeah. In your eyes,
the night, the heat.
your eyes,
I am complete.
your eyes,
Revolution.
your
All
eyes, your eyes.
searches. Oh, I see the light and the heat.
Let's see. We've got some emails. John Hayes Astrology promises to understand you.
I promise you that you can't really tell how to understand me from my birth chart. I mean, maybe some things. I don't know. Not really. I mean, literally, I had a report that said that I have gross habits that disgust people. Yeah. Thank you, astrology.
Maybe it got you confused with me.
No, yours says.
Oh, you're a wonderful person. That's silly.
It is silly.
What sounds like a rip-off of Fly Like an Eagle? Have I been impersonated?
Maybe.
Possibly.
The Eliana Diaz was used as a fake name.
Okay, well,
She let us know though.
we won't be engaging this person tonight, so I'm not in the mood.
That's cool. I'm not really either. Not that I engage. really.
Well, you're not in the mood for me to be fighty. Which I totally get. I'm not either. You know, there's been so much emotional volatility throughout the last set of months. Highs, lows, um, etc. That I find myself just periodically returning to this feeling of, won't this please just be over now?
Yeah.
Even though it's as quick as the process can possibly be done, it's like everyone keeps saying like, already so quick? Oh my God, what's going on? How did that happen so fast? But for us, it feels like it's been going on forever. Because it all feels like a big extension of my dad's suicide. Everything just feels like that event will not conclude until we're moved into Mariposa. The whole cascading sequence of things. Uh, what's the word? Okay, let's think of the word. It starts with an E, but that
Escalates?
no, the whole set of cascading events
Oh.
ensuing from that precipitating event that whole chapter concludes when we move into Mariposa. Huh.
What?
I get what he's saying. In other words, he's kind of following along on the narrative of INFPs not providing me feedback that I was talking about before. He's saying that it's not necessarily that he's not giving me feedback, that he's listening.
Mm.
And as a deliberation dom, an INFP is in fact listening, but they're not listening in the way that I listen.
Or I listen, probably.
Yeah, they're listening in an FI way, which means they're not revealing a lot on their affect regarding what their conclusions are, because FI is a slow deliberative process. Usually, people who are deliberating with FI, especially when you have SI, they experience the experience, and then they feel how they feel about it sometime afterwards. And so the reason I'm not getting any information is because they're not passing any judgment yet, even though they're deliberators. Whereas TI deliberators are constantly passing judgment. That's the process of TI deliberation. There comes a no surprise, one of my conclusions is that the particular individual wants attention.
Yeah,
You mean the
big person.
spike monkey?
Yeah.
Well, they might, yeah. The thing is, what's interesting about that calculus is just because they want attention doesn't mean I shouldn't give it to them. Because if I'm enjoying the kind of attention I'm giving them, and even if it's encouraging them to continue being that way, well, I'm enjoying beating them up, right? So it's not necessarily the case that just because somebody wants attention, you shouldn't give it to them, no matter how trolly they are, right? Because after all, this is my space, not theirs. I decide whether I feel like beating them up or not. But the point is, I don't feel like that tonight. I feel a little bit like I might have when I drank after I drank and acted badly, you know? So, I mean, it's not nearly as severe as that, but I nevertheless would prefer to engage in more civil discourse than that. And I don't doubt that there will come another occasion when I'm in that mood and on my friends, and I'll probably just do it again, you know. I'm trying to grow as a person, and I feel atypically empowered to do so because of cognitive functions. And yet, there are some areas where it's very difficult to grow because of cognitive functions. High misfortune.
Hey, misfortune. So, I want to use my AstroClick, so Astro.com's AstroClick location finder, and I'm going to describe what the city of Los Angeles is like with when you include my birth chart, because it seems like Eric thought it was true, and I do too, but I just want people to get like an idea of what kind of information is out there, so when like it's a reason why.
Just read the thing.
Cool. I'm on my Saturn/IC line. Along this line, you are required to take a closer look at your relationship with your family, but also at your origin in general. Difficulties you encounter here can lead you to reassess your duties and responsibilities towards your family, but also to look after your own interests. Relations to your parents play a central role, and you may feel distant towards members of your family. You want to live according to your own rules. If you are a parent yourself, there could be some controversy about raising children. You want to establish dependable structures in your home life and clear arrangements and responsibilities for all family members. You might be tempted to take all responsibility, but it is more helpful to recognize when it is time to have someone else take over. This is a place where you get plenty of opportunity to deal with your emotions. Your psychic and emotional states may exhibit tension. You may feel unsure, but this is a clear sign that you have to start dealing with these feelings and strive for understanding. Psychotherapy could be successful. Try to stabilize your emotional state to overcome your emotional problems. This will have a positive effect not only on your personal but also your professional life. Having property could become an important issue here. Maybe you want to buy your own home and thus stabilize your position. You may also experience that this kind of security has a price. Unpleasant surprises could come in the form of necessary repairs or outstanding debts.
So that's like pretty spot on. Tells the story of Rachel's experience in Los Angeles from when she got here to when she's leaving, like almost in order. It's kind of crazy, right? Now read the one by you and Mariposa. If you can find it.
I can. I can find Oakhurst, which is close enough.
Yeah. It's a different county, but astrology location doesn't consider county lines.
It's funny. It doesn't. Okay. Moon's node / MC line. In these regions, you will discover support for your ambitious projects. You get together with like-minded individuals and work out a common strategy. If you are seeking support for your ventures from the masses or social recognitions, you can count on the necessary majority vote. Your target is worldly success, even when occasional uncertainties threaten you to want to crawl into a hole and hide. But the temptation of reputation, authority, and power is greater and pushes you up the social ladder toward success. Other people, friends, or acquaintances lend their positive support and make your path easier. Here you become a spokesperson for a legitimate representative of some group or collective movement. Moon's node / MC line gives you an understanding about the meaning and purpose of this earthly existence. You come closer to fulfilling your destiny. People who have trouble detaching from the parental home and their past can get the necessary impetus to make it happen.
Okay, so now can you pull up me, Los Angeles?
Yes.
And I'll read it, and then I'll have you pull up me, Mariposa, and I'll read it.
Okay.
I have my glasses, so I can read things. So the thing is, we don't know if Mariposa is going to play out as it says there, but the things it's saying are going to play out are very relevant to us. You know, it's not pre-wrong. You know what I'm saying? And this is me, Los Angeles. With Mars on the ascendant, you will experience time of self-assertion and great physical strength. It's your courage, a fighting spirit, and independence in all your dealings. You are here to prove both to yourself and the world that you are not afraid of confrontations. You are encouraged to meet every challenge, and without much reflection, you cope in your own inimitable style. Survival of the fittest is the rule, and there is little room for diplomacy and compromising. Your ideal is based on the mythological heroine and warrior. Could it be a hero, or is this just for girls? The mythological heroine and warrior who completely identifies with just one thing and is prepared to fight unperturbed for his ideas. These places are perfect for tasks which require boldness, courage, and a full commitment. All or nothing is your motto, and every attempt to deter you results in fight or flight. You are fully aware that you won't encounter much love and understanding with your attitude. You are better off working alone or where you have the space to exercise your own initiative. Sport activity and military exercises achieve good results from this special Martian energy. It's generally advisable to be physically active, thereby harnessing these intense and extroverted energies more meaningfully and prevent them from being discharged in a destructive manner. Yeah, that's very correct. Like, super correct. The shit like this is like, makes me scratch my head, right?
Yeah. It makes me scratch my head too.
Alright, so we're just gonna pull up, me in Mariposa now, and then I'll read that one. This app is, it has the worst map interface you have ever encountered.
I'm gonna read it or you are.
I'll read it. This conjunction provides good and stimulating connections which are less based on rational but rather on emotional and unconscious premises. This region is excellent for advertising and public relations because your message goes for the senses and the gut reaction and is not blocked by your analytical mind. This degree of latitude is a powerful and effective starting point in the search for popularity and success. You have easy access to all sorts of people, which guarantees increased popularity. In addition, your daily contact with women, family members, and children receives a pleasant stimulation. So, again, we don't know what the future is going to hold for us in Mariposa, but it's not pre-wrong, and it could be. Because it's talking about me being overly analytical, not overly emotional. If it were saying that this is correct, this is not pre-wrong, the other one would be, you know. So it's pretty nuts. And when you read those four things, you go, well, let me double check with my more concrete metrics. How far away is it from my child who's living in Los Angeles? Is it up in the mountains where I would like to be in the mountains? Is it isolated but have access to stores not that far away? Do you feel more isolated than you are, basically? Yes. Is it near a national forest where I can go deep into undeveloped land if I feel like it? Yes. Like, it checks all the boxes. And so then you go back to that thing and you go, well, it's not wrong. I don't know. Well, why it would have any way to be right, but it's not wrong. It made the Mariposa part, we can't determine whether it's right yet. The Los Angeles part is right, and the Mariposa part is not wrong. So whether or not that we should use that therefore as a decision-making metric, I don't know. But what I do know is I trust Rachel's intuition a lot. And intuition will dress up in various clothes, you know? That doesn't mean, I mean, the thing is, what intuition and I kind of has to do is find a lexicon of archetypes to use as a means to explain holistic shit, right? So because it's dealing with stuff that's irreducible, you're not going to have reducibly defensible metrics that engage intuition to the correct intuitive conclusion, rather than, that's the difference between intuition as a knowing function and TI as a judging function. Intuition intuits the correct conclusion, or what's right, not what's the right explanation. TI deliberates to determine what the right explanation is, or the wrong explanation, but NI wants to be right, not have the right explanation. So, you know, it's hard to say exactly how or why. Rachel's intuition chose that particular app and thing to evaluate our move choices and how it all, it's like, how do we end up moving to Mariposa instead of someplace else? Every answer I give feels like incomplete. The answer is, we're not really sure how we ended up moving to Mariposa.
It was shown up as like an option because you were picking out places, like random places. We looked at Reading, we looked at Washington, we looked at Oregon, and you didn't know it, but each time you were talking about the place and like researching it, I was on that app. Yeah.
That's fine. And then I guess I was just kind of like moving around California probably and saw Mariposa and said, oh, what about that place?
Yeah.
We've never even been there before. I never even really heard of it before. So, I mean, that's how shit happens in life, it seems like to me. Most shit happens like that. It's just all of a sudden a bunch of random stuff happens and then you're on the other side of it and things have changed. So it was a beautiful coincidence that Lou Saga and the new house aligned in meaningfulness.
I
I'm
don't
not sure.
understand that one.
I don't know what that
Yeah.
means either. I think it was a typo probably. Your saga? Maybe? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Maybe?
I mean, Eric wasn't like thrilled with Portland, but I'm not understanding.
Oh. Are you referring to, I don't think, I'm not sure he's referring to Lou. I think that's a typo.
Oh.
But I could be wrong. So it was a beautiful coincidence that Portland and the new house aligned meaningfully. Well, I mean, yeah, everything plays its role in the story. And going to Portland and realizing I don't want to live in Portland was significant in getting me to realize and understand I don't want to live in a city. It's not just that Los Angeles is the wrong city. It's that a city is the wrong place for me right now. The wrong place for us.
And actually, I'm not gonna lie, I remember looking at Portland for both of us on that app, and it said it wasn't good for you. But it was
Yeah.
good for me.
But yeah, it wouldn't be good for me. I don't want to live in Portland. I'm so much more well suited for the population of Mariposa than I am for the population of Portland. I'm too old and smart for Portland.
And I don't like haters. I don't. It's not nice.
It's a bad place for Eric to be. He seems to attract them.
Hmm.
So, yes, you're right, Jeremiah Fix, that played a role in the thing. And it was incidental. I don't know if it was coincidental, but it was incidental in that we didn't go to Portland to learn anything about where we wanted to live.
Nope, 'cause I didn't tell him that I was looking up
No.
places.
But when we didn't travel to Portland, to have anything to do with where we were going to live.
No.
We went to Portland after we decided to live in Mariposa. But it did turn out that I learned a lot about where I wanted to live when I went to Portland. And it all confirmed Mariposa. How is one supposed to move forward in life when there's a death in the family and nothing makes sense anymore? I mean, at first, there's a lot of not moving forward. There's a lot of doing nothing if you can afford it.
Agreed.
Because based on my own experience, I'm just extrapolating from that or I should say generalizing from that. You're in a state. It's a state of emotion. It's an emotional condition equivalent to the physical state of shock, which is you're moving. Everything's in kind of like ultra delay mode. You can't process thoughts at regular speed. It's just you just have to give your spirit and spiritual emotional self time to recover. And then as time passes, you'll process it. Some things, there are some deaths that will hurt forever. But it's also the case that all deaths will hurt less the further away you get from them. The nothing makes sense right now part is why you need to go into wound licking mode. Climb into your burrow and lick your wounds if you can, to whatever extent you can. You know, sometimes life requires you to do various things because you need money and stuff like that. And I understand that, but to the extent that you can manage to give yourself a period of convalescence, it's a good idea. And the reason things don't make sense anymore when someone dies is because someone significant in your life dies, is because you have to rebuild all of your frames of reference that link in any way to that individual. It's not just that person who dies, it's those components of your self-concept that incorporate that person at all. Those bits of your identity are bits of you dying so that new bits of you can grow. But, you know, bits of you dying is kind of like a forest fire. Depends on how much of a raging inferno it is as to how total the destruction is and how long it will take to return to its former state, if ever. You know, like, it might fundamentally change the landscape such that no longer do big trees grow here all throughout, but now it's meadow with interspersed medium trees or something like that. The point is, if you have other good things in your life, then something new will grow there that's healthy and alive and beautiful, even if it's not what was there before. You're welcome, Andre. It's a good question. It's one of those serious things. And the fact is, it would be difficult to react more poorly to my father's death than I did for months. So you gotta be ready to forgive yourself all that shit too, if it happens. That people experiencing intense grief from sudden loss, sudden unexpected loss, um, well, it makes you kind of unable to be you for a while. You keep trying to be you, the old you, but in this time period where it's actually a forest fire is happening and before new growth has come back. So you gotta forgive yourself for being kind of crazy during that time period if you get that way, like I did, you know. I'm not that mad at myself about it because I don't think I was capable of any better. It's weird because a lot of times I'll say, I'm not mad at myself because I tried my best or did the best I could, and I said, well, no, that's not really true. I could have done better, blah, 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 blah. I really feel about that because I'm so bad at that that genuinely was the best I could do, even though it was terrible. It's not like I'm an SI type, so it's not like I had any experience in something like that. And if something like that, I don't
Oh my God, you dealt with it like so good, honestly. Like it. I mean, I was under the same impression as you. Like, of course, neither of us like read the documents, but like, yeah.
It's a fun habit of not wanting to read boring things.
Oh my gosh, this is why you couldn't be a lawyer. Well, I don't know. It depends. What do you think about that?
I could do it for other people. When other people ask me to explain complicated, boring things to them, I think that's fun. I don't
So
like to
then you
do it
could
for
be a good
myself
lawyer.
because then there's interest that comes into play, and it makes me scared to even read things. I like to explain those things to other people because I have no interest in the matter. I've got a bike. You can ride it if you like. It's got a basket, a bell that rings, and things that make it look good. I'd give it to you if I could, but I borrowed it.
I think you borrowed it and didn't steal it, because I think that's so sad. I get sad when I hear about people's bikes being stolen.
It sounds like those are lyrics or something.
It
Or a little
does.
poem that he wrote right now. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It does. Hi, Sassoon.
Baskets. Let's discuss baskets.
My bike, one of my first bikes, my pink bike that my grandma got me for my birthday, had a basket and I loved it.
The advantage of baskets is that you can carry things without using your hands while riding a bicycle. Hey, you two, how's it wobbling? Well, It is true. I am a goblin. Like a turkey.
I'm trying to add to the lyric. Um,
Say it's true. Stop your shoe cobbling.
oh my god. I need to go ABC to like figure it out. I'm like making up like words. I'm like, no, that's not a word. Noblin, no. Goblin.
Um,
It's goblin good. And it could either be goblin, the like, you know, like creature, or goblin eating.
right.
Goblin it up.
You could also use the word hobbling. Like, I'm hobbling along,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel aged now, remembering my bicycle with training wheels, and then remembering my nephew current time.
Is your nephew learning how to ride a bike, Jeremiah Fix? I had a friend who taught me how to ride my bike. My parents were too scared, I don't know why. But like once I learned, I like was never off my bike. Like I was always riding it around the block.
You know, it's funny. Prior to us reading the astrology thing, I didn't remember at all really what they said. You know, I was thinking earlier today about how nice it'll be to be removed from contexts and processes, places, and situations that are they're frequently making me mad. I don't like to be angry too much. Sometimes I do, and I definitely don't like it to become a drug of choice of mine. You know, and I'm looking forward to going someplace that I'm anticipating is not going to make me angry. I think that's the huge advantage of Mariposa. Nothing about it at all makes me mad.
I mean, someone called you Jimmy and you didn't even care.
Someone call me Jimmy?
Yeah, they're like, hey Jimmy, and you're like, I'm not Jimmy, I'm Eric Strauss, or you know, yeah. And the guy was like, oh sorry, my bad. Jimmy lives around here.
I had to brag that in. So that's fine. You can call me Jimmy. You can call me whatever. Steve, Greg, Jimmy. Um, Grandpa bought him an electric toy tractor. That's not sort of like learning to ride a bike.
The first house represents you in astrology, and the rising sign is in the first house. The rising sign represents your outer self. It's the easiest way of thinking about it.
My rising sign is in my pants.
Boom! That's fine, okay.
So Sassoon has a feeling that if they tried to annoy and anger me, it would make me laugh. It really depends. It depends how you do it. I mean, I'm not in the mood currently to have somebody try to annoy and anger me.
I don't get sleep, I get annoyed and angry.
That's true.
I'm a very, like, you are right when you say Princess and the Pea, like, yeah. Sleep.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
um,
First house of persona. So the rising is the outward, and the Mars, Cancer, would be the inner spirit or something.
So Mars is like your action, like how you take action, and you take action through like kindness.
Mars is your god of war. Kindness is the war you wage.
Yeah.
How can you have a god of war use kindness as a weapon?
That's why it's not exactly like an easy Mars to be in. Like that's what like astrologers would say.
I'm using kindness as a weapon.
Yo, so like mine is in Pisces, so like I use like addiction to like and like passive aggressiveness and like sloth to fight. That's how I fight. Apparently, like,
You
Pisces Mars.
you do use passive aggressiveness and like purposeful uselessness as weapons, but only when you aren't being treated like you should.
Mm.
You know, you're a precious angel who ought to be treated accordingly.
Aww, thanks, babe.
And if you're a princess in the pea, then it's my job in life to make sure there are not any peas underneath you.
Thanks.
Sure, of course. I will glad hand you. Let's glad hand each other. This is called glad hand. Oh, I'm so glad.
I'm so glad.
We're glad handed. The freedom sign. My Mars is in Sagittarius.
Yeah, so.
My Sagittarius and Mars. And Mercury is in my Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, the Pluto stars. It's astrology nonsense. Yeah. Astrology, yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't mean to tease astrology.
Huh?
I'm
You
sorry.
said that you were upsetting me?
I said, I'm sorry, I don't mean to tease astrology.
Oh. It's okay.
My
I did make
Mercury
rain.
is in my thermometer.
That is hysterical. And brilliant at the same time. Wow.
Fantastic, Sassoon. Good work. Wow, yeah, it is an exciting title, isn't it? Email Anthrax is correct about that. Look what we have here, Email Anthrax. You think the title was exciting? Well, your arrival is bringing a whole new level of excitement. Oh, this is your card. Today, you get to be the magician. You're going to cast some spells, make some stuff happen magically. You're going to cast a spell like fireball, shoot fire into the tree. Okay, so that's your card. I'm going to give Sassoon a card, then I'm going to give Anthrax another card.
Whoa.
Then I'm going to give Sassoon another card.
Whoa.
And then I'm going to move on to Jeremiah.
cool. I like that you're changing things up.
So soon, your card. This is your first house. This is who you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good listening.
Thanks. Yeah, we did do that. You are the Nine of Cups. Dinner with Jesus. Come eat dinner with Jesus. That's my favorite Nine of Cups picture. You know what I'm talking about?
Dinner with Jesus.
My favorite Seven of Swords picture is those little foxes. My favorite, whatever it is, picture are the stags looking out and to the forest. Cards, those ones from Lou's Forest deck. Anyway.
How many stags?
Well, I don't know what the point is. I don't know what the name of the cards are, but whatever that card is, I like that particular picture. Those two particular pictures. So I'm saying they're probably most certainly my choices, my favorite picture for that card. But
that's cool. I like the regular Raider white best.
This one is for. Wait, did we do this already? Yeah, we did 9 of Cups. This one is for anthrax skin. And looky here, it's the 8 of Cups.
5, 6, 7.
7, sorry, 7 of Cups. It's the 7 of Cups. And that one means I got my shit around me. I'm keeping my eye on you. I'm just keeping my cups. Is that what it means?
Yeah, sure, of course.
What do you think it means?
It's different for everyone. To me, it means like a lot of choices.
A lot of choices. Okay. Now, I believe we're going back to Sassoon. I also like Rachel's Rock and Roll deck. That's the other deck I like a lot.
Thanks.
It has more words on it than any other deck I've seen. Ooh. El Chariotto. The Chariot.
I like the huskies on that picture. They've got happy faces.
They're running towards you. Okay. Now, let's erase that. Next, we've got I'd like to show you the Thoth deck sometime there. This is for Jeremiah Fix.
Nine of sticks.
9 of sticks. I think that means. Oh, is that bringing a shovel to a rake party? No. What does this one mean?
Like, you just got one more stick, just put it in the ground.
Oh, you're almost done.
Yeah, you're almost done.
You've only got one stick left to put into the ground. But you're currently sitting down and not working on it.
Yeah, so you're like happy with yourself because you've got like all those sticks up, but you do have one more left.
It's true. That's true for Jeremiah Fix. Okay. Now let's pull a card for Rachel.
Egyptian repetition.
The Egyptian rhymes for y'all. 9 of sticks. Is this the Nile or Styx? A river in Hal is called Styx. Well,
But you
it's
got.
on the border of hell. A river in Egypt is called the Nile.
Yes, it is.
This is for who? Susan? Or email anthrax? No, Rachel. That's who it was for. Rachel. This is King of Cups. You're pretty King of Cuppy right now.
Thanks.
You've got all your potentially emotionally dangerous shit is all being fortified and made safe. And you're attaining control over the entirety of your emotional landscape. In other words, you have all your boundaries set up where you want them. You are in the right relationship. You like the people we spend time with. You know, you like to love it a lot. You feel like we've got good people in our life. We've got Cameron. You feel as though all the barriers to emotional health have been removed.
Yeah.
It's easy to do tarot on you because I know you, so.
Then you'll have to do another reading for me. Just
Okay.
someone else, but then do another reading for me.
Okay. Email anthrax. It gets the Three of Cups.
Celebrate good times, come on.
Yeah, Three of Cups is also known as the Cool and the Gang card. But in this case, it's clear who's cool and who's the gang, right?
Yeah.
That guy right in the front is cool. Those other two dogs in the background are the gang. Okay. That was for email anthrax. This one's for Sassoon. Piao. Knight of Cups. You're doing an adequate adult-like job of emotions. A little bit rough and tumble, perhaps.
It looks like there's a cup full of wine or
You're balancing
blood.
a cup of wine on your nose. Wow.
Wow.
Is it
Wow is right.
Is it what is that white thing up there?
Horse.
Is that horse blood? Is it a cup of horse blood?
I hope not. There's roses.
Do you have a cup of horse blood on your nose, Susan? Oh, I see. It's a heart
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
and some roses.
Mhm.
Well, not root. Yeah, maybe a plant growing out of the top of the heart.
Yeah.
And these little doodads. Anyway, I guess the message of this cup is stop balancing shit on your nose.
Don't do the Jordan Baker. Don't look like this.
Is that how Jordan Baker looks?
Yes.
Okay. Next we've got Rachel. Came right up. Page of Cups. Well, I think this represents probably the unconscious side of the King of Cups. Or it could represent me, whom you have to take care of. Because I don't think I'm ever going to get any higher than Page of Cups, really, in life, you know. Page is even probably
They call it
ambitious.
the Fool of the like court cards.
Yeah.
Mhm. Like the pages are the fools. So you'd be the Fool of Cups.
Full of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have another word for knight besides knight? Like they have fool for page. Do they have like now for knight?
Yeah, they do. But I don't know them.
Okay. I'm gonna do another card for Rachel.
Thanks.
Let's see what it says. I want to see if she gets the whole royal family of cups.
Why are you emotionally unhinged? Or what makes you think you're emotionally unhinged?
Is it a problem with your emotional door frame?
Oh, Eric, you're so funny.
Thanks. Here you are again, Rachel.
Ooh, my
The
life path number.
Emperor. You're the Emperor. And this is your empire. I'm your loyal subject.
Thanks, babe.
Of course, my darling.
Ooh, 7 of Swords.
Was on the bottom.
Yeah.
This one keeps popping up for Friday the 13th.
Ooh, Friday the 13th. Yeah.
King of the King of the Sword. Well, you know, my card's got a bit of a bad rep.
This is your card.
The Four of Sticks.
What do you think it is?
Well, I would say this dog is watching this dog try to get something up here. And it could be interpreted in an FE way, like this dog's proud, but he seems attentive on something else, right? Rather than like standing proudly in front of, like he doesn't see the other dog watching him almost, you know?
No, he doesn't.
And let me put my glasses on. And it's not, he doesn't appear to be going after this little bird. It seems to be whatever he's looking at is not that little bird, you know? Let's see what else is going on in this picture. Well, there's a butterfly on it, which the Spanish word, Rachel informed me, for butterfly is mariposa. So that's kind of fun. A little butterfly on it there. And there's some sunflowers.
Sue says you look smart AF with glasses on, Eric.
Well, thanks. I think maybe this is you and this is me.
Aww.
What does this card mean?
Harmony.
Oh, harmony. That's a good card.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Hermit and the bottom.
It's a Doge card.
Never seen a good Doge around this hotel. Well, thanks, Susan. Yeah, I got that one again.
Oh.
I'm double four of sticks.
You are 22.
Double 4 sticks is
8.
quadruple 22.
Quadruple 22.
Because each 2 sticks is 122. No, no, each 2 sticks is an 11. No, you're right. It's double 22.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel's right again.
I don't know. I'm
No, you're
really
right.
bad at math.
No, it's the 2 sticks next to each other look like 11s.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 11s on one card is 122. So you're right. It's double 22s.
I can't even tell you how, like, I'm still stumped by the fact that I'm right.
So Sam says, Eric, do you have a reading of my question? Should I eat 5 grams or do a heroic dose of mushrooms? Okay, let's see what you Sarah says.
Yeah.
How
So,
clean's your head?
yeah, because, like,
You gotta remember, if you have a clean head, 5 grams can be a pretty heroic dose.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Nope. Just one more. One of them has to fight to the forefront of my attention definitively against its foes. You can't just be a little bit more stuck up.
Should I buy 5 grams shrooms and do a heroic dose? That is
You got the
more
cool in the gang card.
Celebrate good times come.
But, I'll let you interpret that however you want.
Yeah. Like what
I don't-
dosage makes you feel that way?
I can't answer your questions about how much drugs you should do.
No.
Because the thing is, it depends entirely on who you are and what your relationship with that drug is.
Yeah.
If you're Cameron, you should do no mushrooms. If you're Rachel, you should be careful about when and how much you do how much mushrooms you do. If you're Eric, you should do a heroic dose.
Yeah, I can't do heroic dose. No. Honestly, like, mushrooms brings out my FI. I get so emotional. And then I worry about you. Like, you'll be outside smoking and I'm like, is he okay?
It turns out I am.
Yes, it turns out.
I come back and tell you a story about what I was doing outside.
It's true.
Well, you know what I'm glad I have nearby? Anybody who hasn't gotten tarot, want to be tarot, please say so. And we'll tarot you, but I'll put that there for now. We'll tarot your butt like nobody's business. We'll tarot your butt like nobody's work. Earlier I was playing for Rachel a song I hadn't thought about in many years, which is on YouTube as LBNAF by Ice-T. It's the song Let's Get Butt Naked and Fuck.
Oh.
I played for Rachel. I realized that the beat's quite similar to the beat in fuck the police.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's good to drink loops. I mean, it's good to drink liquids. What are most of your thought loops processes about when you take shrooms there? In theme. Same things as usual. More focus on stuff I find hilarious. Some mash fraction of which actually is. Uh, and then I do what I always do, except I'm happier while doing it. I'm happier and more carefree while being Eric. Of course, being more carefree means being more careless as well, and especially on FE grounds. And that's one of the things I don't like about it sometimes. I like to live stream on mushrooms, but I don't like my live streams that I made when I was on mushrooms very much. So, you can see my conundrum. It's a dilemma, of a conundrum, of a quandary, of a bind.
Tangled.
Quite tangled, yes.
Mhm.
Quite tangled indeed.
Mhm. And almonds right there.
Yeah, it was until Family Guy
Yeah.
made it Quagmire's. Yeah. Well, I mean, what they did, they cashed it in, basically. They cashed in all its cool. It's not like they messed it up terribly. Family Guy is not bad. Sometimes it's a little crass, you know. I will answer the question, and then we'll ask the actual NI Dom to answer the question. Okay. Um, I would guess that Rachel. I would guess from my observations that Rachel spends some of her time worrying about things. Some of her time she likes to like isolate and try on clothes, and maybe I'm not sure if she's usually like probably listening to some kind of like tarot video or something. Um, but of course, because you're isolating, I'm not really sure what you're doing in there because
Yeah.
I'm busy being loud in the other
Honestly,
room. You know.
I'm just trying to grow up. It's such a bad habit. I should just let myself throw up because it feels so different after. I fight it. But I get, you're right, I do get like very like I watch my videos on YouTube, like that girl, Charlotte Dobre.
Charlotte Dobre.
She's funny. Not as funny as you
Now, Rachel, last time we ate mushrooms, which was yesterday,
know. Mhm.
you didn't really feel very nauseous, though, right?
Mm. I actually did.
You did, huh?
Yeah, it surprised me.
I didn't really feel nauseous at all.
It makes me feel nauseous. I tend to throw up. I don't like that. I fight it.
There's a good reason not to do mushrooms.
Yeah.
If it bothers you a lot.
Yeah.
Because you're in the 8th slot, which is never
And
fun.
then it makes me I always cry on it. Like, I didn't feel that yesterday, but I did feel nauseous.
Well, what do you cry about usually?
I don't know, sometimes like happy stuff, like when I was crying about the Office episode. Yeah, that was the last time I cried.
First thing I get uprooted from reality and I start getting paranoid conspiratorial and grandiose things such as God reading minds and knowing universal truths like John, etc.
Because Jim was talking to Dwight because Dwight was crying and he was saying he understood why he was crying over Angela because he felt that way when Pam was with Roy.
So you're talking about episode Beyond Where We Are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, we will.
So, I don't think that well, I think that you can structure your trip to avoid problems ensuing from the fact that it's destroying your third and sixth slot functions.
I feel so much. I hate it.
For me, I can't FE or TE when I'm on mushrooms. But if I'm not contextually situated to make FE mistakes, like if I'm not live streaming, for example, and I set aside the time so that I don't have to figure out how to do anything, then it's a much more fun experience than if I'm finding myself trying to solve problems and interface gracefully while on mushrooms. As Sim says, as a visual thinker, my imagination benefits very much from shrooms. Colors you wouldn't otherwise think of. Okay. Blue, red, or even stranger colors than that.
Ooh. I want to draw a card for Chinese New Year.
Okay. Gong, Hoi, Pat, Choi, or something like that. But it's the Six of Cups.
I think that is a nostalgic card. But also the soulmate card is known as soulmate card.
There's only one
It's
guy.
sharing, receiving.
Sharing. Oh,
Mhm.
sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
That's the message of this card.
Yeah. Sharing is caring. Look how many flowers are in there. So
Yeah,
nice.
but his facial expression is saying, yeah, but don't take too many.
Ooh.
Don't you think so?
Yeah, it is.
Cues located behind your brain. Try it and grab them if you can. I can't because I'm very bad at visualizing stuff. Lisa and I were at the mall earlier, and I was saying, we looked at this map, right, that says where the stores are at the mall. But they're showing you an overhead view of the mall, and you're not facing the direction that the map is showing. So you have to mentally position yourself, like, pretend I was standing over here, then I'd be in the same perspective as this map, and then I can understand whether I have to go like this or like this to get to that spot, right? I'm very bad at that. I have a really hard time with mentally turning around visual maps of spaces and understanding how that changes my perspective so that I can understand how to go. It's hard for me, very hard. And Sassoon says that they're very bad at sound-based imagination. I don't remember dialogue at all. I can't sing songs from memory.
I can't remember, like, it takes me a while to memorize lines.
That's true. You're not fast at it, but you can do it.
Yeah.
This is for Delilah.
5 or 6 conflict.
Well, she does have probably.
It's a lot. Too many cooks in the kitchen. That's what it's called.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, surprisingly, I don't think it has anything to do with us.
No.
I think it has things to do with other things in our life besides us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull a card for Boba Fett. Is Boba Fett here? Okay. This is it. This really stood up.
The star, number 17.
The star, number 17, the star. Is Boba Fett. Look at him in the sky with his points and his yellow stuff. He is a star, he's a dog. Pull a card for Paul Snow. Pull a card for Paul Snow. Sounds like a good lyric. Eastern Dragon? That's not a tarot card.
That's not a tarot card.
Well, here's your card for sure. Jumped right out and landed upside down. So that's the upside down 4 of Cups.
5, 4, 4, 4, 4. Sorry, you're right. My bad.
The upside down 4 of Cups means
Not bored.
you're not bored.
Yeah, you feel very active.
Congratulations. You're not bored. Tipsy Psychic. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
It's a great title.
I think that sounds really fun.
Paul Snow, here's your other card. You're the Queen of Wands. What does that mean? Means you've burned this stick, you're lavishing in the warmth of its fire, you've got flowers in front of you, and then you got even more flowers in front of them, because why the hell not? You're the Queen of Wands. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Have I ever done an IQ test? Yes, I like to say that my IQ is 107. Because I got that score on an IQ test that I took. And, I don't know, 2018 or something. I should get online. It only had one kind of question, but it had multiple instances of it. Visual pattern recognition.
I've never taken it.
Ace of Pentacles.
Well, but bet your cards were just both 4.
This Ace of Pentacles is just reminding everybody, hey, it's a new year, different year than last year, going to be a better year, going to be new opportunities this year, and that's it. There's an intelligence beyond IQ and some top percentile IQ that is particularly uncreative and not very lateral in understanding. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of haphazard usage of terms like intelligence and creativity, and people mean different things when they say intelligence. And
Well, I guess I've taken part of one time, and then I thought it was annoying, because there was a lot of sheets and stuff. Is that part of it?
I mean, the one I took was nothing but like little dot, triangle, square, yeah, pattern kind of recognition. Like, what's the next thing that comes in this pattern?
Oh.
Like, I'm not very good at those questions.
I don't really want to. I did it on interwebs, so that's as far as I've gone to find out my IQ.
It's not particularly meaningful among even just descriptive standardizations or something. You know, it's like the problem being intelligence is considered some quality that attains you one of a number of different possible things, including good outcomes, including being articulate, including being right, including being correct, including being sensitive even sometimes, or reading the room. These things are all attributed to, are all given the label intelligence in some ways, and yet a lot of them are conflicting. So to say that they reflect the same generalized quality is obviously incorrect.
Hey, Rubinar.
Yeah, well, although I was earlier entertaining the notion of weaponizing kindness. Is it possible to weaponize kindness?
Yeah.
How?
I think the movie Bad Teacher shows a good example of that. Have you ever seen that movie?
No. Isn't it about, like, who's that lady, that famous lady, Michelle Pfeiffer? Or something?
Cameron Diaz.
Or Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
I never saw it, but it didn't appeal to me.
It was yeah, but
Okay, but see, the thing is, it can't be real kindness if it's putting on display of kindness to use it as a weapon, then it's not actually kindness.
but
Right?
what about like cupcakes? someone bakes you cupcakes, they're like mad at you, but they like baked you cupcakes.
Kill them with kindness. I mean,
Yeah.
well,
Right.
they're trying to solve you being mad at them by being nice to you.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
And the thing is, that might be a poor decision, right? But they aren't using it as a weapon. They're trying to use it as the opposite of a weapon, and it's just blowing up on you anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it's tricky to imagine something that's actually kindness that's also a weapon.
Yes.
But my ex-wife used to say that all the time. Kill them with kindness. I gotta go smoke another cigarette. And when I come back, maybe we'll wrap it up and watch a little TV. Oh, I forgot. I've been messing up. We've got not just regular Lays, but wavy Lays.
They're good.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to pull a card for before you go for Phil Collins.
Okay. Murder him with kindness.
Murder him with kindness.
Phil Collins. Ten of cups, 10 of cups. It's a dog, and for some reason a cat.
And a squirrel.
Aren't you like English or something? Scottish or
I mean,
British or?
I can tell you my heritage if that's the question.
It is an odd way to put it, but I think being playful.
So, I'm Italian, British, which is, Irish, English, Welsh, Scottish.
Right now I'm Korean.
I took my, Welsh.
Does that mean that you have extra
No, I
respect for
don't
the
know
Prince
very
of
well.
Wales?
What?
Does that give you extra respect for the Prince of Wales?
No. Well, it's funny that you said that. Oh, you could be. We could be. Well, okay. I do like sheepdogs. I think they're cute. And I like the song more than I do. No, I do not like the living cat.
Are you ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, we're gonna take off, you guys. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette, and then Rachel and I are gonna come
I'll
back
go
here and
with you.
yeah, come on with me, and then we will watch The Office. I think. Let's do that.
Ah.
Hi. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Hi. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.